Using the estimate versus limit function. We will discuss when to use the estimate versus the limit button for patient accounting. This video will go over the estimate button as it is used in most cases and almost always for all insurance cases. So for example, on this patient, we are billing $50 for an adjustment, and we've checked her insurance and they say she has 20% coinsurance, which we estimate is going to be about $15. So you can see there's nothing in either of these boxes, and her patient balance is going to reflect the exact charge amount here. So we only want to charge her what we're estimating, so we'll type in 15 in her estimate and click Save. And you'll notice that her patient balance has changed to 15. So you can then take your payment from your patient and we can complete this visit. And now her patient balance says 0. So now we'll go over what happens when we get an insurance payment back and how that affects the estimate. So for visit 85, we are going to say that we get a payment back from Blue Cross and Blue Shield. This will be the same whether you use auto posting or if you were posting this payment manually. So we'll say we get a payment from Blue Cross and Blue Shield of $13.27. So they're paying us $13.27, and they say that the write-off amount is $23.54. Once we hit save, you'll notice that her patient balance has changed from the estimated 15 to $13.19, and that her case balance shows negative $181. The negative is going to mean that's a credit. So our estimate was a little bit high, and now she has a credit, which is what I would say you would want to do in your office. Typically, patients like having a credit versus a balance. But in the instance that we were off a little bit, so we'll say that we got the same amount here, but the write-off amount was actually $19.17. And we hit save, you'll notice that the estimate has changed from 15 to now they owe us a little bit of money. So her balance is actually $17.56, and she owes us $2.56 more for this visit. And then also on the screen, if for some reason you do decide you're not going to charge her all of that, you could put that limit in here. Again, with insurance, I typically don't recommend that. You're going to want to charge them that allowed amount that the insurance company says that they owe. One instance that we do sometimes utilize that is if the doctor gets in the exam room and they've already told the patient how much the visit's going to be and they end up needing to take an extra x-ray, they may say, hey, go ahead and bill that, but don't charge them for it. That would be when I would sometimes use the limit option just to remind myself that's the max I'm charging this patient. I'm not charging them for that extra x-ray. That way, when I get their payments back in, I'll notice that and I know not to charge them for that. But typically with insurance cases, we are not going to use that limit function and just the estimate. Same thing is going to go for Medicare patients. We would always use the estimate function or even just leaving it blank unless they do have a copay or a coinsurance with them, but definitely never using the limit function just because Medicare patients cannot get discounts or reduced fees. So we will make a separate video to go over the limit function. So hopefully this helped explaining the estimate function.